Welcome to video number 3 of a 3-part video series concerning the National Water Model Learning Module found on Hyrolearn.org. My name is Easton Perkins. I am a student at Brigham Young University and a research assistant in the Hydroinformatics Research Lab. Today, this video will be going over how to complete exercise number 3 found in the National Water Model Notebook number 3 titled Subsetting and Exporting Forecast to CSV Files. Pull up a browser and search Hyrolearn.org to access the learning module. Type into their search bar National Water Model and click on the National Water Model icon to begin. Once you're here, you should see a page similar to this one. This is the National Water Model Learning Module. This video assumes that you've already worked through the introduction as well as section number 1 and now have a brief understanding for what the National Water Model is, why and how it was created, recent developments of the National Water Model, and have also worked through the first part of section number 2 where you learned what a short range, medium range, long range forecast is, as well as the analysis and assimilation periods, and are ready to continue with the learning activity number 2 now. This learning activity this first page of this learning activity will get you set up with the Jupyter Hub notebooks as well as Hydroshare. Read through this to get set up now. Assuming that you've done so, we're going to click here. And this will take us to Hydroshare, where we'll do Open With Quasi Jupyter Hub. And then you should now see a page similar to this one. If it's not exactly the same, don't worry about it. As long as you can see these 4 links, National Water 1, 2, 3, 4, those are our 4 notebooks. Today we're in the 3rd notebook, Subsetting. As this notebook is titled Subsetting and Exporting Forecast to CSV Files. So the main purpose of this learning exercise found in this notebook number 3 is to help us understand how we can go out, retrieve the National Water Model data, and basically be able to use code to transfer that data into a CSV file format. So then we can put on Excel and manipulate the data however we want, which is a pretty powerful tool. So this is a great learning activity. All right, we're going to be scrolling down here to the bottom, and the previous 2 video tutorial exercises go over how to complete exercise 1 and 2. If you haven't done those already, I highly recommend going back and doing those now before you attempt exercise number 3. As well as watching my video tutorials that go over how to complete exercise 1 and 2. This will help you better understand what's going to be going on here in exercise number 3. Alright, exercise number 3 states, try editing the list of reaches that have been included in your data subset. Pick at least 5 reaches for a river of interest. You can obtain the desired reach IDs from the National Water Model Interactive Map, or the simple JavaScript map that we use in the National Water Model Notebook number 2. Subset some National Water Model data for these reaches and export their stream flows or velocities forecasts to a CSV. Observe and consider some stream flow or velocity changes as you move up or downstream. Alrighty, so this exercise isn't too bad. Hopefully you've already worked through notebook number 2, which is our XRA notebook, and have played around with that a little bit. So as this exercise stated, we can go grab reach IDs, which hopefully if you worked through the previous exercise, remember what a reach ID is. A reach ID is basically a barcode, but for rivers throughout the continental United States. As we know, barcodes allow us to scan whatever produce that we're buying, and the computer recognizes exactly what we're buying and how much to charge us. Well, the same thing goes for reach IDs for rivers. When we put in a reach ID into the code, the computer automatically knows exactly what portion of river we're talking about. And there are around 2.7 million reaches throughout the continental United States. So there's a ton. And each reach has a particular unique reach ID. So pretty awesome stuff. Okay, and we can go retrieve these reach IDs one of 2 ways. So we can click here and go to the NOAA interactive map. This should look familiar. Hopefully you've done this. And this should just be review. You're just going to zoom in here, pick a river, and click on, let's go here for example, click here, and there's the reach ID. We'll just copy and paste that. So that's one way to do it. The other way is to come and use our maps that we made earlier in notebook number 2. Now this link's going to take us, kind of shortcut us into it, right? So we're going to come in here. Hopefully the map's working for us. There we go. There's our rivers, and we could do the same thing. We can click, and there's our object, or we don't want the object ID, excuse me, we want the station ID, and that's the same thing as a reach ID. So you could do it either way. Today we're going to be using the National Water Model, the NOAA interactive map to get our reach IDs, but you could also do it using this. All right. So we need to pick at least 5 reaches for a river of interest. Yep, and then we're just going to subset it and export as a CSV file, and then make some observations. So we're going to scroll up here, and we're going to hit run for our packages, import our packages. We're going to run this. These are all the functions that are predefined, already coded up for us. Super nice stuff. It's going to go get our URLs from Nomads. It's going to create a netcdf file, and it's going to convert it to a CSV file. So pretty awesome stuff. Okay, super important here. And this was done in the previous exercise, so I'm actually going to delete mine right now. Oh, it's not going to let me until I empty it. Shift, delete. All right, now we're going to make a new folder. I already had it up there, but I'm just deleting it so I can do it with you. So we have a forecast file, so we're going to come up here to the folder with a plus sign, click on it, and we are going to type in forecast files. Enter. Okay, forecast files. Awesome. Now we need to keep this folder empty, so when we go and get our data, it'll put it in here for us. So it's empty, we're good. All right, so now we're going to come back here. We also need to change the forecast start date. Super important. As we know, Nomads will only has data for your current day and the day before. So the day I'm doing this is May the 19th, so I need to put month first, so it's 2022, and then month, and then I got to put the day, which today is the 19th. That'll be different for you. Make sure you put your current day or the day before, because that's all Nomads will be able to grab. So we got that going. Forecast time step with 00. We'll just grab a short range. Perfect. Yeah, that all works. Forecast files. Okay, so we're gonna hit run on this one. It worked. We're good. I'm gonna hit run here. Now this right here is where it's gonna get kind of weird. So we have a forecast file name, forecast files, and then this is the list of river reaches that would be included in this subset. So this is where we're going to go out and we're going to find 5 reaches that we want to use. So we're going to come back up here to the interactive map, and we're just going to pick a pretty main river for the purpose of this exercise. It'll come down here between Lake Powell and Lake Mead, and we'll come down and we'll click here. So we'll just pick 5 reaches in a row. So let's pick a maybe yeah, we'll start right here. Okay, so we'll click this one, copy it, Control C. We'll come back here and we're going to paste it. Okay, we're going to go back, click on the next one, Control C. Perfect. And then we're going to do next one. Control C, put it here. I'm gonna go on the next one. Oops, here, and copy the reach ID again. Yep, we're in the right spot. We'll V, and we're gonna need one more spot, so we'll put another comma. Come back up here, and we'll do one more reach higher on the Colorado River. Oh, I want to do reach ID. Control C. All right, and Control V. Okay, we got them all. So there we go. Put a little space there. Okay, so we got our 5 reaches. Now when we run this, looks like it went out and got it for us. Hit run there, and we're going to hit run there. And we're going to cross our fingers it works. And it looks like it is working. Yep, there we go. So just went through, ran, got our 5 reach IDs that we put in there, looked at them, and said, okay, this is what river we're talking about. This is where we're going to go get the data from, and it has it now. So it put up right here our CSV file. It converted it for us. So there we go. We can expand it. We're looking at stream flow forecasts. There we go. That's awesome. Okay. So now that we have this, we want to be able to look at it and make observations. Now you can kind of look here. So we can see here, okay, so this is 2022, May 19th. Okay, all the same day, right? Yep, all May 19th. So today, right? At least for me, this is today. And it looks like it started at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it's predicting out in the future 18 hours, of course, right? And then we can kind of look here and say, okay, let's see here, what's going on. We have some stream flow data coming in, 293, 293, 293, 294, 294, 294. And it's going up a little bit. Now we can count across here and we see we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are our 5 reaches that we put in on the same river. And we can see between the reaches now, we just went upstream of the Colorado River. That's all we did, right? So it's probably going to be pretty close to the same stream flow. Now we can see here, as we went down these things, we have some minor inlets, outlets coming into the Colorado River that will change the stream flow as you're going up and downstream. How much? We don't know exactly. Well, we do know. We can come here and we can see, okay, so this one was 293, 293, 293, 293, 0.8, 0.6, 0.6. So we can see that the stream flow further upstream had a little bit more flow. So it's fair to observe that maybe this one it's probably an outlet coming out of the Colorado River, because it seems like it lost just a little bit of stream flow, but not very much. So those are some observations we can make. Another way to make these observations is we could come over here and we could download this CSV file to our computer. I'll click on it. Give it some time to open. Yep. Okay, here it is. And there's our reach IDs that we put in, right? There's 5 of them. So we know we're in the right place. We're doing the right thing. That's always a good feeling. We got our time steps. So 18 hours, right? Short range forecast will produce a forecast 18 hours in the future. Awesome. Yeah, and so now it's just a new format. We can kind of look at it. Let's see if I can produce a graph real quick. Let's see if I'm a wizard in Excel. Let's see if I just come up here and if I go to view, no, let's go to insert. Yeah, insert. Insert, let's do a chart. Let's see, it's gonna be a time series graph. Series 1, 2, 3. It looks like our data is a little bit off. Let's see if I can manually come in here and do it. Now, this is completely subjective. Hopefully, you're better at Excel than I am, and give this a better try. But let me come in here. We can come in here and we can select data. Yeah, so we're going to just call this time X series values. So we're just going to use these ones right here, right? Awesome. That looks good. And then the Y series values. And we're actually going to have a bunch of them. Let's see if we can just plot one. Okay. Yep. And then we can add another one. Oh. No, we want to keep that. And I believe, I know we can add and look at multiple values. Let me think if I'm doing this right too. Yeah, I think I am. All right, let's see if I can figure it out. Okay, I just came in here and created another one, and it's plotted it. So all I did was come in here and add. Just went in here to X values, clicked right here. There we go. We got our Y values, and we can name these and everything, but for the purposes of this exercise, we won't worry about it. And we see we're just plotting them, so come in here. Now, there's probably easier ways to do this. I probably look like a real novice. I promise. I have taken a few classes in Excel, so I hope I don't look too much like a fool right now. Okay, so we're coming down for time. Okay, so we got those ones, and we'll add one last one. And yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we can briefly just look at them as we're going through time. We could even format this, format axes, and we could turn it, I believe, next to axes, label. I don't know, you could play around with that. You can tilt the lettering so we can actually see it. I'm not seeing it right now, but you can do that. And for the purposes of this video, I don't want to take too much time looking at that. But roughly, we can see that when we compare the reaches, there's one that's super low. If we name this one, we can see that it's the first reach that we put in. So further downstream, it actually gained a bunch of stream flow. So maybe our original assumptions are wrong. Those are really inlets, and we're gaining some stream flow, some volume of water in there. So really cool things that we can do with Excel. That's the main objective and power that we have by converting the data from the National Water Model to a CSV file, which then allows us to put in Excel and make cool graphs like this and really observe and make observations. Hopefully this was helpful. Stay tuned for notebook number 4.